Hi, my name is Phillitia Charlton. I am CEO and founder of Charlton Charlton Associates. I'm also an ICF certified emotional well-being subject matter expert. I'm here today to talk to you about the power of the pause, pathways to mental well-being, a journey from worry to wellness. So let's talk about why pause. Pausing in a healthy way is extremely important. It helps us handle life's challenges with greater skill. It also helps us avoid life just living it on autopilot, and it gives us room to be inspired by new ideas. Pausing can also benefit your health. It has a lot of mental health benefits. One of the mental health benefits is just reducing stress. It allows us to just take a breather, and it helps us with our stress levels, and it definitely promotes relaxation. It also gives us improved clarity. It helps us feel more refreshed, and it takes us from living in autopilot to taking a minute to just breathe. Some other mental health benefits are increased self-awareness. It also helps us increase our resilience, giving us that ability to bounce back from things that we think can take us down or take us out. Pausing also can help us be productive. Have you ever had a time when you didn't feel focused? If you take a minute to pause, it can enhance your focus and make you think clearly about your next decisions. And it can also make you a creative problem solver. Sometimes when your mind is racing and you keep thinking through something, you need to take a breath and a pause to see all of your options and let them present themselves as you slow things down. While you're being productive, it also helps with decision making. Sometimes we rush to make quick decisions. So when we pause, it helps us evaluate and consider all of our options. And if you're anything like me, I need to pause for good time management. When we pause, we think about our time. We're not rushing through. We're not doing too much in multitasking. It helps us monotask, looking at one thing at a time, and it allows us to have time and take time more efficiently, where we can make more effective decisions. Of course, pausing has health benefits as well. It helps us reduce our muscular tension. A lot of times when we're in autopilot and we're moving forward, we get tight, we get tense. Think about how you're sitting in the chair right now. A lot of us are sitting like this. We're not thinking about how our bodies are and how that affects our mind and our decision making. Taking a pause will help us relax our shoulders. It will help us release tension, and it will help us make decisions clearly and feel more comfortable while doing it. The other thing is, it improves our sleep quality. Our minds get to racing when we're making decisions, and we don't think about the rest that we need to make clear decisions. Sometimes we believe that the more we work, the more productive we are. But we can't be productive efficiently and effectively or we're tired. So taking a pause helps us improve our sleep quality. Additional health benefits are enhanced digestion. Sometimes we eat fast and it causes our bodies to feel tight or bloated. So if we take our time, we can digest our food. We can even put things down for a second to take the time to eat. And it could make us feel better, meaning that we could be more productive and more comfortable during the day. Pausing also lowers our risk of burnout. When we go, it makes us tired. So sometimes we think that a pause is actually making us ineffective while it's helping us move forward and be more productive. So when you're less tired, you make better decisions. When you're healthier and you slow down, you make better decisions. So it's okay to give yourself permission to pause. Pausing helps with self-awareness, and it also helps us when we're doing it mindfully with a purpose. Sometimes pausing to reevaluate and recalibrate helps us with our personal decisions. You might wonder how personal and professional work together. Well, the things we do personally, the things we think personally, and the things we believe personally impact how we show up professionally. So making sure that when we evaluate what we're doing, how does that align with our values? How does that align with our belief system? How does that align with who we want to be and how we show up? Taking a pause to recalibrate and then come back professionally is extremely beneficial. And it helps you mentally, physically, and professionally. This is so important. Pausing to practice self-compassion. Are you nice to yourself? How do you talk to yourself? Most of us want to be effective communicators personally and professionally, but especially at work. When you're at work, if you're not talking to yourself nice or thinking about yourself in a respectful way, it might cause you to do the same thing with someone else, or it might cause you an inability to take a compliment or see where you are making progress. So pausing to have self-compassion is extremely important when you think about the fact that you have to give yourself grace. And when you learn to give yourself grace, you can grant that to others. Thinking about pausing to embrace a growth mindset. Pausing is extremely important when you're frustrated. When you're frustrated, it can seem like everything is doom and gloom and things are not working out. But when you pause, you can sometimes begin to see the possibilities of a different outcome. This helps with a growth mindset. A growth mindset is merely the belief that something else is possible. It's merely the belief that things can get better personally, things can get better professionally, and I can improve. Pause to reflect and pause to recharge. When you pause to recharge, it helps you think about who am I outside of what I do. That's extremely important that you have a holistic approach to seeing yourself personally and professionally. When you think about who you are outside of what you do, it allows you to put things in your life that you love, making sure that you're not just showing up for work, but you're showing up for yourself. You have to pause to prioritize rest. We talked about sleep, but sleep and rest go hand in hand. Making sure that you're taking time out to just sit, to think, and to reflect is a part of pausing to think about, how do I want to rest? Do I put time in my schedule to rest? And when I rest, am I giving myself an opportunity to recalibrate, breathe, and start all over again? Pausing to reflect on gratitude. What in my life am I thankful for? What in my life am I grateful for? What in my life is working for me? A lot of times it's very easy to ruminate on things that are not working for you. It's very easy to focus on the negative. But when you think of things from a perspective of gratitude, it allows you to have a growth mindset moving forward personally and professionally. Just take a second right now and think, what can I be grateful for today? Maybe you could even write a note on your computer or put a note on your phone or start your day off with gratitude or possibly end your day with gratitude. This will allow you to be thankful and grateful for what you have, giving you more capacity to allow the opportunity and the mindset that something else better could be on the way. Gratitude turns what we already have into enough. One of the things that we've been talking about is pausing personally and professionally. So we're going to get a little more into pausing for work-life balance. And typically, it's okay not to think of it as balance. We can think of it as things as they ebb and they flow. Because sometimes it's very hard to balance things. Sometimes professional will be up and life will be down. Sometimes life will be down and professional will be up. So how can I create the best balance possible considering what's happening in my life? I can do that by establishing boundaries. Establishing boundaries means I have compassion. I have grace for myself, and I'm thinking about what do I need in order to have the best mindset to complete any task in front of me. So that means that I'm not allowing too many things personally to impact me professionally. And if I am, I'm asking for help. And then professionally, I'm not allowing myself to be extremely overwhelmed. And if I am, I'm asking for help. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's okay to be out of balance, but understand that the pause helps you understand what you need and where your boundaries need to be created. The next thing is designating relaxation spaces. Thinking about this can be difficult, especially if you're a busy person and you have a lot of tasks. But there are ways that you can relax. One way to do that is possibly giving yourself 5 minutes to get into your office when no one is talking to you. Creating that safe space at lunchtime. Creating that space when you go from your job to your car. What are some simple shifts that you can make in your day to create some relaxation spaces for yourself, to be able to take a pause, to relax muscle tension, to be able to practice gratitude, and to be able to still stay within the boundaries of what you need. The next thing is, as I've been stating, is communicating your needs. If you have boundaries and they're not communicated, they're really not boundaries. So you need to make sure that you know how you want to be communicated with. Understand that sometimes in communication, people don't know. So assuming the best instead of assuming the worst is a good communication technique. Give yourself a pause to ask for clarity. Don't assume that you know what a person is thinking or what a person means until you ask and you hear it from them directly. A good example of this is with email. If you have a colleague or coworker that's close to you and something is misconstrued, communicate, ask questions, take a pause. Think about their perspective and think about yours. There might be an opportunity for growth there, and something that you thought was stressful could simply be a miscommunication. Strategies for effective pausing. Some strategies for effective pausing are identifying opportunities to pause. We talked about a little of this, but some of the signs of burnout are just chronic fatigue. You're constantly tired. Your mind is always racing, or you're just irritable. Thinking about if I'm feeling this way, it might not be everyone else. It might be me and my inability to communicate because I am irritable, because I am tired, and because I feel stressed. So I look at these opportunities when I feel that way and say, do I need a pause? Take a second and ask yourself, when you're feeling these ways that we mentioned, do you need to pause? Have you created space for yourself to pause? And if not, how can you implement that into your day immediately? Thinking about when I'm facing decisions and I'm tired. If I make a decision when I'm tired, that means that I'm not thinking with everything that I have within me. I'm thinking to get it out of my way. When I rush through decisions, sometimes I end up creating more of a mess than if I would have taken a second to say, I'm not ready to make that decision right now. Can I get back with you? Can you give me 5 minutes? How long do I have to make that decision? Or even respecting my boundaries and stating, this decision needs a little more time. Did we consider that? Making sure you're not forcing yourself to make decisions when you're tired is a great opportunity to practice pausing. Thinking about, what do I do when things do not go my way? How do I handle a setback? The first thing is taking a pause to understand that you're not alone. You don't have to be alone in your decision making, and setbacks happen to everyone. So that will help you remember that it's not just you who is experiencing this. If it's not just you, that means that you have examples of people who have overcome similar situations. And you're just as strong as they are. So taking a minute to understand that a setback does not mean that you won't ever have anything good happen to you. It's just a moment in time. So pausing to reflect, where have I seen this before? Have I experienced this before? And if I feel like I'm being set back, what can I do to move forward? That's an opportunity to pause. Thinking about more techniques for effective pausing. Schedule that reflection time. You can do it in your car. You can do it on a break. You can do it on a walk. There's several opportunities and ways for you to schedule reflection time, but you have to pause to make it important and make it a priority and put it in your schedule. Looking at creative hobbies. What do I love to do? I recently started doing puzzles. It was a childhood joy that I could bring into my adulthood. Is there something inside of you that you stopped doing because you thought you were too busy, but it brings you joy? Reflect on some of the things that were simple but made you happy, and try to find ways to incorporate those things intentionally back into your life. Thinking about taking a digital detox, meaning, how long has it been since you put your phone down? Do you wake up with your phone in the morning? Do you go to sleep with it at night? Do you panic when you can't find it? If you do, you're human. but also thinking about being more intentional about a digital detox to allow yourself to breathe mentally and emotionally. This will help you personally and professionally, taking that pause from social media, taking that pause from the television, taking that pause from noise all around you so you can hear the voice that's within you to help guide you when you're making decisions. Sometimes we have to overcome biases for action. There are a lot of barriers that will appear in our life that will make us believe that we have no time to do the things that we love or be the person that we want to be, personally and professionally. Some of those biases that we need to overcome are reframing pausing and looking at it as being productive. Some of us were taught that if you're not working, you're not doing, you're not going, you're not growing. Some of us were taught that pausing was lazy. All of these things are old and outdated ways to continue to drive ourselves into some of the things that we talked about: fatigue, tiredness, and irritability. Pausing is an action, but it's an action rooted in mindfulness. Pausing is healthy. Pausing helps you do a better job. It helps you think and it helps you reflect. So pausing is not being lazy. It's actually a productive way to make better decisions and feel better about yourself, teach people how to treat you, and get more done. Other ways are setting specific goals for pausing. If you look back through the presentation, we gave several examples of how you can set goals to pause, really practical examples. You're probably pausing right now by taking a minute to watch this video. This is good for you because you're taking time out for yourself. You're doing something now that will help you with other things. A pausing mindset is not just to pause, it's to help you press to move forward. And then thinking about the time to cultivate reflection. Do you go, and not think about what's next? Not think about some of the actions of the task that you're completing? Pausing helps you create time to actually reflect. And we're reframing pausing as an action step. We're reframing thinking about stopping as a positive thing. We're reframing understanding that taking time to do something well instead of just getting it done is much more productive and effective. There'll be several quotes that are going to be on the screen. Pause. Read through the quotes. Think about if any of the words resonate with you. And I want you to pause to reflect. Write down anything that is standing out to you right now as you read the words on the screen. If there's anything coming up for you, know that you're on your path to pause. You just did a practical step right now within this video to take some time, to slow down, and not only to listen, but to reflect and think about how you feel about what you see. Once again, take a second and read through the quotes. Is anything helping you understand the power of the pause as a mindset? Write those things down. Record those things. Take a screenshot and keep these things in your life as a daily practice to think about this growth mindset that pausing helps you press through. I am Phillitia Charlton. Thank you for your time. I have presented to you the power of the pause. Practice what you heard and pause.